Hi, here we are, the three silver strands, and I'm here with Marlena Gross, MJ Clements, and me, Irene Murphy. And today we're going to talk about fun things to do in the summer. Well, today, for me, I'm going to talk about things to do that might be fun to do with your kids. So, when you're out for a walk by a stream, you could find 10 little pebbles, one smaller than the other, and you can make these cute little ladybugs.
Oh,
One, two, and then what? I had a friend of mine make made these for me, and my grandchildren love to play with them and line them up from biggest to smallest. But you could actually get your kids to do this with a little bit of acrylic paint, with adult supervision, of course. And they're just, they've got two little dots for eyes and, black, and then red with two little dots and a line in the back. And then they all line up together, bigger and to smallest. And then the smallest one, the real little tiny.
oh
And
my
they're
gosh.
so cute. And then, yeah, and then my grandchildren, they like to play with them and line them up, and they all talk to each other and they meet each other, and it's so fun. And then, of course, with your older children, you can make something even more elaborate. Isn't that pretty? My
Yeah,
daughter made that for me. And then, or kind of like far out. And it's just a fun activity to do.
we actually did that last year.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, we actually went to a beach, not I was probably about an hour away from us, and we gathered real smooth rocks. And on another day when we're all together again, even the littlest one, made a little imprint on a rock, and we put him in the rock. We called it a rock garden with other flowers and stuff. So yeah, and we also, because I've collected so many different shells from around the world, basically, I
Mhm.
have a lot of sea biscuits, and so um, and what you can do with the sea biscuit is it's like a mushroom top, so it has like a little hole in the bottom, and you can paint the top of it, and then flip it upside down, and you can put one of those dry plants. I don't think I'm saying air plants.
Oh,
They're little, and you can stick it in the little hole there, and you can make a macrame rope, like a little hanger, and so you can hang it, so you can see the design hanging below, but you have the plant on top, like a little plant holder. So that was one of the things that we did, along with decorating the rocks. So yeah.
Oh, how fun. I have one more rock to show. This one, a friend of mine made it for me. It's got a little scripture on it. Psalm
Oh, there you go.
119, 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet. And dot, dot, dot. And I have this right outside my door. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Mhm.
you remember when we used to make pet rocks when we were kids?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my mom made one. She took a bunch of little rocks and she called it the rock band. Ugh, hilarious.
Well, people still sell that stuff.
They do.
It's crazy to me. You'll walk into some place, and they'll have a gift shop and there will be pet rocks for sale, and it cracks me up. Oh my goodness. Well, I wanted to talk today about a summer bucket list. And so, Irene, I love that idea because I think that it kind of gives a kickstart to some of the bigger things that you could go do, right? But it that allows you to go to the water, you can touch the water, you can touch the sand, you can touch the rocks, you can smell the air that's around, see the sun shining, and see all the bright colors of the flowers that are around, and things like that. And one of the things I love to do is make a summer bucket list by using the five senses. And so, we hear, we see, we touch, we eat, and we smell, right? So I like to take those five things and kind of come up with some ideas of what we could do. And one of the things that we have downtown in my area is a train depot. And so my grandkids and I'm going to take them to the train depot this summer, and we're going to go listen to the trains, right? So we can hear the train blow its whistle. We can hear it running on the track. If we decide to get on a train, we can feel the motion and the movement of the rail car going. We can see all of the trees that we're passing in the forest and everything when we get on the train. If we wait until we get off, we can stop at a special restaurant and eat something new that we haven't tried before. Maybe a new fruit or a new dessert that we haven't had. And we can smell the flowers, we can smell the fruits, we can smell the oil on the train and on the tracks. And so I like to use the five senses to do those things. So some of my ideas are, if you would like to go do something that you can hear, you could go listen to music in the park. I know where we used to live, where my grandkids used to live, they had a music festival in the park every summer. Um, Full of Christian bands, and we would go sit and listen for a couple of days to all of the different bands that would come in. My husband loves birds, and he loves talking to our kids and our grandkids about all the birds that are in the backyard. Because in Wyoming, we didn't have a lot of birds to see. The wind would blow them all away, so we didn't have that very much. But down here in the South, we have birds of many different colors. And so you can see and look for the colors of the birds, but you can hear um, the different songs that they sing. And I love talking to the cardinals in the backyard. They make this whistle sound. I don't know if I can do this, but it goes, and then they do a click at the end of it. And so to talk to the birds is really kind of fun. It gets the kids excited about, oh my gosh, what did they say? And you can make up a story and do something kind of fun with that. If you need something to go see, you can go to a museum. You can go look at art. You can go look at the animals at the zoo. You can go to a movie. Usually, I don't know if they're doing this so much anymore, but they used to do summer movies where we lived, and uh, you could get 10 movies for the summer that were all PG or lesser rating, and take the kids to a new movie every week. Usually it's something everybody's already seen, but every now and then we would catch one that we didn't see yet. And so a movie is an option, and those are pretty cheap during the summer movie times. You could go to a bookstore and read a new book together, or watch the stars at night, because during the summer there's some really amazing stars out. And so if you wait till after dark, you can usually see something fascinating. Something to touch. So I like to do art or crafts. So sometimes we will pull together one of the crafts that I have in my cabinet. I have a granny cabinet for my grandkids, and it's full of everything. So we have googly eyes, and we have beads, and we have ropes and strings, and we have paint and markers and crayons and shrinky dinks and oh golly, so many things in there. Popsicle sticks, all kinds of stuff. And so if you need something to touch, maybe you have that touchy feely kid that just has to touch everything they touch, they go near. Then, crafts is a great idea for the summer.
Mm.
And Irene's ladybugs fit right into there. And just doing something creative gets their imagination going. And that's always a really cool thing to do. You could plant a garden, and you could have a water garden. A water garden would be a lot of fun. If you're looking for something to eat, you could try new recipes at home, like making strawberry jam, or go to the candy shop and get a new piece of candy and just make it something kind of special and fun. Or if you're looking for something to smell, there's flower fields in Missouri. I know that other places have those kinds of things. The one in Missouri, it was, um, I think it was in April, they were covered in tulips. And as far as you could see, and I didn't get to go, but I heard and saw all the pictures, and it was gorgeous. But I know that there's flowers out in the summertime because we have them all over where we're at. So if you go looking for flowers, or go looking for some new fruits, fruit trees, you could go picking fruit. There's, I know strawberries have been recent, and blackberries down here right now are kind of hot commodity. And then you could pick things out of the garden and try to taste new things out of the garden. So just being using your five senses, I think, are a really great way is a really great way to go about looking for bucket list items. And then we like to make a poster of the things that we want to go do so that we can kind of check off what we've done for the summer. And that was always a huge hit for my kids. Since we homeschooled, it was a really great thing to do because they could check off the things that were really exciting to them. And at some point on my website, I will have some of our family bucket lists that we've had over the years, for each of the different seasons. And so that's my idea on how to put together a bucket list. So, what do you think, Irene?
Yes. Great.
Awesome. MJ, what are you guys thinking about doing for the summer?
Well, I was kind of thinking that lots of times, moms are probably pretty tight on money, so you want to be creative with the things that you can do without, spending a lot of money. One of the things that my grandchildren like to do, my oldest one has discovered this too. We have a lot of herbs in our yard, so we pick the mint, and they like to, in some way, try to dry it, and they actually will drink it as tea. So, probably, if you're able to, oh gosh, I'm in the car, so hold on. I gotta buckle up now. Um, cut this out. Anyways, my thought was, the kids could pick up a little herb plant at the greenhouse, local greenhouse, and try to grow an herb themselves, to teach them the ways of how, we grow, and, just put some sort of an analogy to it. But then how it can be useful for later on as far as making tea or, whatever it may be. So, yeah, that's one small little thing that you can consider doing.
My neighbor turned me on to putting mint in my lemonade, and I would have never thought of that,
Oh,
but
yes.
it is so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah. So, and they like to sell lemon. Last year they tried to. We're on a more of a private road, so there's not a whole lot that goes by. But they tried to sell lemonade one time. Then the boys tried to sell. What was it they tried to sell one time? They were trying to sell artwork for $100 each.
Good for them.
Needless to say, we went broke because we bought it for him. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, some kids have a lot of art. And I think they should do everything they can to sell those pictures because they need to make some pennies back to replace the mounds and mounds of paper that they go through.
Yes, that's for sure. Uh, That's for sure. I remember
So true.
my daughter would make all this artwork and I'd have to display it all. But then of course you can only have so much. So I would, like take away the old stuff and put the new stuff up. And then one day she caught me and she goes, "It's you. It's you. You're the one that's taking it down." She was
Did you know
just
they actually sell
testing.
these picture frames on Amazon where you
Yes.
can just open it up like a little window box, and put the
Mhm.
picture in there, and you can have all their pictures stored in it like a little file box. So
Oh,
you have
Yes.
one displaying, but you have all the pictures behind it as well, so you can change it periodically.
oh,
I
that's
thought
a
that was
Yes,
pretty cool.
they
that
have
is a
those on Amazon. Yes.
good plan.
We've talked about that at one point, I think. I don't know if it was on our video or if it was just together, but let me see if I can find that because picture frames for kids, I think.
Here, I'll look too.
There it is. There are art frames for kids is what I would look up on Amazon, and they run actually, wow, those ones are really cheap. This one has a 3 pack for $38. So they're only $13 each, which is not terribly bad. So if you got 3 kids, you could have 3 frames. And yes, they do exactly what MJ was saying, and they're fantastic. And I if I had little kids like that, I would do that again. That would be a good present for the parents.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna actually. Might lose you guys.
I hope we don't lose you. For those of you that don't know, MJ's on a worldwide tour trip, um, running down the back roads, and so she's kind of in and out right now, but she's got important things to give us information about, so we're gonna just let her pop in and out as she can.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those frames they're running anywhere from $13 to $19. They're not terribly expensive, and it really is a great way to hold on to everything that the kids have. And then what I recommend as the organizer is when it's full, go through it and pick their favorite 3 and and then start over again.